Good morning, everyone, and happy Australia Day to those that are listening in from Australia. It's Wendy here, and I am on our Friday session of 5 steps to becoming a published author. So I hope you're having a good day. We're looking forward to the long weekend here in Australia. So today I have got 3 key topics, and I'm actually talking about publishing, the 3 key things that you need to know about the publishing industry. So there is a lot of misinformation out there around publishing, and one of the key things that the Ultimate 48-Hour Author team value is making sure that our authors do due diligence about which pathways that they're wanting to pursue for their publishing. Natasha, of course, has started off. It took her 2 years to write her first book, and she doesn't want anyone to go through that length of time to get their story out to the world because it's unnecessary. So the 3 different topics that I'm going to cover off today is around the differences between traditional and independent publishing. The second thing is around guided self-publishing. And the third thing is to talk about the value of the product that you hope to achieve at the end. And, you know, the product that you achieve with support is a much more professional product. So I'm just going to go through, you know, the key things that we see and the differences in the different pathway that you choose. Now, the first thing is around the differences between traditional and independent publishing. So traditional publishers will work with those who have an established authoring history, a large following, or indeed are a celebrity. So you'll see for the likes of, you know, Michelle and Barack Obama, Prince Harry, they will get picked up by a traditional publisher because they know the finance that they're going to invest in their book is actually going to be a big return on investment for that company. And the authors themselves, it's not really, yes, they'll get royalties from that, but that's not the primary reason that they're wanting to publish that book. They want to get their message out there to the world. From traditional publishers, you will be expected to get around about 10 to 15% on average, depending on who you work with, back in royalties. So yes, the numbers will be there. Big volumes of books will be sold. You will have that reach, but the profit margin on those books back to you as an author is not very high. Intellectual property is a big one. So with a lot of traditional, and I'm not putting them all in the one basket, but we've found, and talking to other people, is you don't actually own the intellectual property that comes from your book. So have a think about that one. If you're looking at your book as your legacy, then that's your family story. But actually, you get a movie deal around that story, and we've seen that time and time again. Then the ongoing royalties into your estate will come back to your family, but not at a higher rate. So, you know, you never know where your books will actually end up. And I'll, you know, if you think of the publishers that, the authors that actually started as self-publishing, there is Tom Sawyer, the author of that book, started off as a self-publishing book. Black Hawk Down, the movie, the author that originally wrote that historical event was started as a self-publisher. So it's true, you start as a self-publisher and then you can get picked up. But the thing about the intellectual property is that you can navigate your journey around that and you become the master of where that is going to lead. Now, conversely, independent publishers are those amongst us that want to seek and they want to do everything themselves. They want to seek an editor. They want to find out somebody who can do the computer work for layout. They want to seek a graphic designer and they want to do that themselves. So what we see is that with the one book, it may take 2, 3, 4 years to actually get that out there. Now, to find a quality editor, a quality layout manager, and a quality printing process to get their book out there to the world. So what that chews into is time. How much time do you have to actually get that out into the world? And goes back to the original reason as to why you're writing your book. Yes, you'll have total ownership and navigate the way around that, but there's lots of loopholes and a lot of sinkholes that you will come across during that. And I've just been talking to an author this week who's trying to get out of a contract in one major publisher, and I won't say where that is, but you potentially have some loopholes that you need to navigate your way through as an independent publisher. The second point that I want to, the second key thing that I want to talk about today is around guided self-publishing. So this is where Ultimate 48 Hour Author sits, and a lot of book mentors will actually sit in this space. So what that means is that you're actually guided or navigated through the pathway towards publishing. Now, the beauty of that is that you're working with a coach, with somebody that's actually traveled that independent pathway by themselves, and they know of all the loopholes and can support you step by step through the process. So this, if you're looking at self-publishing, I would highly recommend this. When I went in to the seminar with Nat and Stu and the 48 Hour, I had the concept behind the book, but I had no idea about how to do it, how to proceed from one step to the next. And I needed a coach to be able to talk me through what to do next. I knew the content, I knew what I wanted to put in this book, but I didn't know the process of editing, layout, and publishing, and I didn't have the time to be able to navigate that way myself. I was working full time, I had family supports, etc., and I could see that this was a way of cutting out that stress of trying to navigate my way through that process. So that's how self-publishing. The beauty about both independent and self-publishing is the intellectual property is 100% your own. So from your book, if you're looking to do other things, you can repurpose your book content into other things that you might like to do, speaking, podcasts, doing workshops, doing an online course, all that sort of thing. And that is where, you know, a lot of coaches, a lot of service-based industries, a lot of people that actually want to start a service-based industry, the launch book, you know, their book is actually a platform for those other entities that they want to produce. And as I said, the intellectual property stays with you. So the three key questions that we recommend to our prospective authors to ask around where they would fit and if they're talking to publishers is, number one, around the intellectual property. Will I get my print ready files back to me, and will I have ownership around the intellectual property that comes after my book? That's number one question. Number two question is, are you going to harass me down the track for ongoing marketing and upsells? So marketing is a big, once you've actually written your book, it is a big block to platform your book and get that out to the world. And I'm going to go into that a little bit more detail tomorrow. But the question around, once you've signed up with a publisher, are you actually going to be phoned every week? Some publishers, you know, they actually do harass people. So that's the second question. Am I going to be put on, you know, a recall list of, you know, too frequently contacts to be able to, you know, to persuade me to try and work with you. And the third thing is around a website or having access to the other authors that publisher has worked with, you know, so that you can actually connect. It's so easy to connect through LinkedIn, through social media with your authors, and send them a quick message saying, hey, you worked with such and such. How did you find them? And that's, you know, doing your due diligence. Now, if they don't have a website and not platforming their books, then, you know, they're not really being transparent. I have to say, and I'm going to pitch here, the 48 Hour Author team, our writerbook.com.au has a website, and on that website there is a bookshelf, and all of our published authors are there. They're on our website, and, you know, we're helping them leverage their books, but also it's access for new prospective authors to reach out to them with their permission. So they're the three key questions, and they're really good ones, because you will be interviewing your publisher to find out whether they are a fit for you. The third key thing to know is the difference in the product quality at the end. So if you're doing an independent, you're finding an editor off a site, it's the quality of the editing, it's the quality of the cover design to match what you're wanting to achieve, and the time that it takes to actually find that. So to go through and troubleshoot to find those people that you're wanting to engage to be able to produce a fantastic cover for your book. So the difference in the product at the end is they're poles apart. So we can actually tell a book that has been independently published. I would say 80% of them are not very good to look at. And the beauty about going through a publisher is that you will, I've got Busybird on this one, you will, because that's the company that Natasha did the publishing through up until about 5 years ago. So the publisher's logo will actually be on the back, and of course ISBNs, you can get free ones, but we do paid ones as well. So that is all put, you know, you've got the logo of the mentor, the logo of the publisher, and the ISBN. So it's, you know, it looks like a traditionally published book. The 48-hour author book. Oh, and I'll use yes. So Natasha has, you know, the Ultimate World Publishing logo on the back of all of her books now. So because that's our publishing house. So the look of a guided self-publishing book will present a whole lot better than an independent publishing book. And I've just checked the clock, and that's my time. I could go on forever. So lovely to have you here this morning. If you're watching the replay or had any questions, then pop some questions down below. I'm happy to take any questions. But tomorrow, I'm going to cover off the 3 steps to marketing your book. So 3 key things about marketing your book. I've already mentioned sprinkled this week that marketing is a really important aspect of getting your book out there to the world. So have a fabulous day, everyone. Enjoy Australia Day, and blessings to Far North Queensland, who are recovering from a cyclone last night. Our thoughts are with you. We'll see you tomorrow, same time. Bye.